Welcome to Skill 3. In this section, we're going to be talking about presenting the products and the opportunity. So there's some essential skills that you need to know. The first thing is you need to leverage your upline and the company tools whenever possible. Now remember, the company's got tools for showing the product, and they've also got tools for showing the opportunity. Now the key thing here is to leverage those tools, because you can speak to 100 people a month if you are getting them to watch a video on the products or the opportunity. But if you're showing the product and opportunity yourself in your own time, you can show it to very few people every month. So the ability to grow your business rapidly becomes difficult. The whole point of the exercise is to leverage your upline and the company tools. Now, this is especially important when you're getting started. Once you've been going for a while, you'll start doing some of the advanced training where you'll learn how to do the presentation yourself. But right now, you don't know how to do the presentation yourself. You could never do it as well. Well, you might be able to, but it's highly unlikely you'd be able to do it as well as somebody's done it 100 or 200 or 500 times. So the option for you to just use the tools or to use your upline is very powerful, because it allows you to do an incredible presentation with the minimum amount of effort. The next thing you want to do is create a story and tell it, because remember, people want to hear your story. People like to hear your story. They don't want to know what you know. They don't care what you know, but they do care about your story. Then once you get your feet under you and you start building a team, you need to learn the standard opportunity presentation. Now, that's not for today. Okay, that would be an advanced course, but we'll talk about it briefly in terms of what you need to do in that case. But that'll be advanced, where you learn how to do the presentation yourself and where your people can leverage your time and your expertise to grow the network. Then ultimately, you want to learn how to use the various training presentations. So bear in mind, what you want to do is you want to get your people trained up. And we'll talk about how that works in getting your guys started in one of the future skills. But that is one of the company tools you want to leverage to the nth degree, because you want to learn how that training works, learn how to deliver it, and then get your people trained up. Now, in network marketing, it doesn't matter what works. It only matters what duplicates. So everything you do from here on in should duplicate. You should do nothing that is too difficult for somebody else to do. For example, if you have to spend a lot of money for advertising, that doesn't duplicate. If you have to go and hand out brochures at a petrol station, that doesn't duplicate. If you go and do, for example, craft markets, that doesn't duplicate. Only one person can be at that craft market. So if you want to grow a big business, you want to stay away from everything that doesn't duplicate. As soon as you start doing stuff that doesn't duplicate, what happens is you land up doing all the work and your people do nothing, because they can't duplicate what you are telling them or teaching them or showing them, or the example that you're setting. So use the tools instead of your own wisdom. I can invite somebody to watch a video. Hey, John, I don't have a lot of time to talk now, but if I send you this link to a video, would you take a look at it? Yeah, sure. When do you think you'd be able to look at it? Hey, I can look at it tonight. Excellent. So if I called you tomorrow, you'd have looked at it for sure, right? Yes, I would. What time should I give you a call? 10 o'clock. Excellent. I'll give you a call at 10 o'clock. Got to run. And you can do that over and over and over again. You can get hundreds of people to watch a video, but you can't get hundreds of people to watch you personally do a presentation. So use the tools instead of your own wisdom. Let other IBOs give the facts instead of giving them yourself. Now, the perfect person is the upline. So if you've got an IBO who recruited you, we call that your sponsor, get your sponsor to do the presentations. If the sponsor is not capable, look up the line until you find somebody who is and get that person to do the presentation. Remember that even though they're 2 or 3 levels up from you, they're still responsible for helping you grow the team, because you are part of their team. Find somebody up the line who can do the presentations and get them to do the presentations for you. Don't present yourself as an expert ever, because if you present yourself as an expert, you land up fielding all the queries. Rather let your IBO be the expert. So if you've got somebody you want to recruit, introduce them to John, your upline, your sponsor. Hey, this is John, my sponsor. He's an awesome guy, incredible, knows a business backwards and forwards. I know that you got some questions. Let's get you two together. You can answer your questions for you. Now you are not the expert. So the person is not looking to you. Because if they look to you and you don't know the answers, then they start doubting the opportunity. So rather point them at somebody who does know the answers rather than yourself. Your goal is to provide the belief, the enthusiasm, and the excitement. So you bring the heat to the table, but somebody else delivers the message. And let the system just do the heavy lifting. So when we talk about presenting the opportunity or presenting the product, the whole idea is to let the system do the work. Hey, John, I've got this incredible video on the products. If I send you a link, will you take a look at it? Yeah, sure. Excellent. When do you think you'll be able to look at it? So if I called you on Wednesday, you'd have looked at it for sure, and off you go. Now, the next thing is telling your story. People aren't interested in what you know, but they are interested in your story. So craft your story with care. And everybody's got an authentic story. Everybody gets into this business for a reason. So there's a structure to creating your story. First of all, you create your background. Then, what is the thing that you didn't like about your background? Then, how MLM came to the rescue. And then your results or how you feel about the future. Now, I'll tell you a story about a friend of mine who's a surgeon. He says to me he never goes on holiday. He never takes any time for himself. I said, well, why not? He said, because when I'm sitting on the beach, I realize that I'm losing thousands and thousands of rands every hour sitting on the beach. So let's say I'm losing 10,000 rand an hour because that's what I charge in surgery. So if I sit on the beach for 8 hours, then I've lost 80,000 rands in income. He says, and then I think to myself, well, is sitting on the beach worth 80,000 rand? And then I say to myself, no, it's definitely not worth 80,000 rand, so I don't take holidays. I'd rather work because I'm obviously earning fortunes while I'm working. This is a difficult thing for him to admit, but ultimately what he would love to have is to be able to earn the money and at the same time be able to take some time with his family. So he wants to be time rich and have money. Now, somebody who's in a position like that traditionally is financially rich but time poor. There are other people that have got loads of time but they don't have any money because they're unemployed. That's also not a great situation. And then there's those people who have a job where there's a little bit of months left at the end of the money, so they don't have time and they don't have the money to do things with. So the goal here is for you to give your story from where you're at. So if you're a surgeon, it could be, I've been doing this for 20 years, and what I've realized is that although I'm making a lot of money, I don't have time to enjoy it. And then I discovered this opportunity, and I realized that if I worked at it, I could create a situation where I was generating the same amount of money, but where I had loads of time to do the things I wanted to do. So I'm thrown all into this, and I'm going for it hell for leather. That could be an example. Or in my job, I realized that I always had a bit of month at the end of the money. And I knew that if I didn't do something about it, nothing was ever going to change. And then I discovered this amazing opportunity. And so I've committed myself 100% to this opportunity, and I'm now growing my business, and I'm very excited about what the future holds. So can you get the idea of what your story needs to look like? Now, I'm giving you examples, but this has got to be your genuine, authentic story. So you need to sit down in the manual that you've got and actually do your story. Write it out. Create your story for yourself, practice it, and then go and tell it to as many people as possible, as often as possible. This is easy to duplicate. Everybody has a story to tell. So you need to do it, and when you recruit people, you need to get them to do it as well. When you get to a point where you are more advanced, you need to learn how to present the opportunity. I'm not going to go into it here because it is an advanced course. But when it comes to presenting the opportunity, you are the messenger, not the message. So you need to use the company tools again. There are PowerPoint presentations, there are videos you can watch, there are webinars you can do, etc. But use the tools that the company presents to you to push the message out. Now, you've got to review the various tools. You've got to listen to the top presenters doing it. You've got to practice like crazy because you don't want to be there creating a presentation that your people think, oof, I don't want to go to him again. He does a really crummy presentation. You want to be really good at it. And then you need to review your performance as often as possible. My recommendation would be record yourself, see what you're doing right, see what you're doing wrong, and continue to fix the problems as you go along. There's an old saying in MLM, the person with the marker makes the money. Once you've started to recruit some people, my recommendation would be do the advanced course, learn how to do the presentation, and then get out there and help your people recruit their people. You become the messenger at that point. They bring their people to you. You sit with their people and you help them to get into the business. Okay, so that's it for this section. I hope that it makes sense to you, and I hope that you can go out there and utilize all of these incredible tools to make your business more effective.